Hello?
It's
Okay.
Hello,
Yeah.
Mazi, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world. We come again tonight to spend this wonderful time with you all, discussing about our way forward, looking at our struggle, reflecting on the event that unfolding, and looking forward to greater future that includes the freedom of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi, and the ultimate freedom of Biafra. Before we start, I would like us to acknowledge uh, presence of the Lord, presence of God, aka Chineke na aka ndị ichie na ihe anyị na-eme. And we call on God to be with us, call on our ancestors to support us. We acknowledge the traditional owners of the Australian land that we occupy. We pay respect to their elders, past and present, and emerging. And we hope that this meeting tonight, this sharing of ideas, this moment we share together tonight will be enriching in many levels and be the one that really brings strength and renewal of the spirit and courage to all our people all over the world. Ise. My name is Ekene Obiako, and together I come to you with my team, members of Australian IPOB community, and we come to you tonight as we always do every Wednesday. I would like to start by thanking our host, Mazi IYKE, for giving us this wonderful opportunity, and also acknowledge your presence, a wonderful audience, and all Biafrans over the world. This is our work. This is what we're doing for ourselves, for our future. So it's a commitment that we do not take lightly because it's about our future. It's about the future of our generation. Ndị Igbo zara n'afa sị afa m efuna, oke m ama mfu. Ihe anyị nwawo ndị IPOB n'okpuru onye ndu anyị bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What we're fighting for is Gafayarifu, that we will have our right respected anywhere we go, that we can coexist with every other person, regardless of their country, that our humanity, our humanness will be recognized and respected as indigenous people of Biafra. That's what we're fighting for. It's a fight, it's a struggle for fundamental rights. And it is one that that is very requires a strategic move. And we find ourselves currently with our leader in detention. He's there for all of us. He's there suffering for this struggle, for this nation, for this beautiful dream to be actualized. At a time like this, when there is so much attempt from the camp of the enemy to destroy us, even from within, it's a time that calls for renewal for every authentic IPOB member. Some of you might be disillusioned, might be discouraged. You might be having a very low, damped spirit towards the struggle. You might be developing very negative perspective and very, losing interest completely in the struggle and the hope and faith that once was there. And for me tonight is to encourage us, wherever you're listening. There is nothing that is happening in our struggle at the moment that every other struggle for freedom has never experienced. It is part of what they call group dynamism. The group dynamics, from time to time, there will be people moving away from the vision. From time to time, there will be people trying to cause confusion. From time to time, there will be people that disagree. From time to time, there will be people that will go too low to allow themselves to be used as instruments for disaster. What it calls for is for all of us to be watchful. What it calls for is self-awareness and being consciously involved in what we do, intentionally involved in the struggle. It's no longer the time to just do it because we've been doing it for years. It is the time to always remind ourselves, why did we actually get ourselves in this community we call IPOB? Why do we even come together? What are we trying to do? What is the objective of our coming together? What is the mission we're trying to accomplish? Why are we doing this? Why is Mazi Kanu suffering for a second time? Even when his own life is now, as we know, at stake. Why have we lost so many people in this struggle? So many innocent people have been killed in this struggle. Why did they die? Did they die in vain? No, definitely no. Why have we been contributing, putting our money? What is it that has been, motivating us, leading us, pushing us towards doing stuff like this? These are the critical questions we should be asking ourselves, because then we begin to realize that there is a mission, even at a time that is so gloomy, like we have it now, at a time that is extremely challenging, and with unfolding events that can be quite frustrating and devastating, to say the least. Consciousness of why we come together, band together, and of the reality we're trying to actualize, which is our freedom, should renew our spirit and sustain us in the struggle, keeping us on the right path. Biafrans, we started this struggle because we want to be free, because we have no place in Nigeria. Being called, identified as Nigerians means that we do not exist. And we can go deeper and deeper into that, what it means. We have no place. We have no opinion. We have no economical, political power in Nigeria. But above all, our identity is also in crisis. Our culture is in crisis because of the way Nigeria was constituted, was formed colonially, was put together to serve the colonial masters, as we know. But it does not. But that's always at the expense of our own indigenous people's development, whether it's economy, political, educational, whatever. Holistic development was being jeopardized in favor of British wealth, increasement in wealth. But why do we decide to fight in a way we're doing it? Not with guns, but with the microphone and consistently saying the truth, holding the enemy where it pains them the most, dishing out the lies of enemy, identifying the tricks and strategies of oppressor. Because we want to be free. But what is contained in this free? It is the freedom to become us and remain us. Because up until now, we are not existing. If we do not have self-actualization, self-determination, we are not existing. That is the fundamental freedom that we collectively need to exist as indigenous people. Over 50 years of war, we are still yearning to be free. The sort of freedom that we are fighting under our leader, Mazi Kanu, is the freedom that when we have it, every other thing will fall into place. We're fighting because there is no hope in Nigeria, and do not be deceived. We're doing this because we want our children to inherit a greater future. We're doing this because we have been emasculated in the economic and political areas in Nigeria, aspects of Nigeria. And that has pushed us to move away, to leave the country, to travel, and we are living in all parts of the world. So the good thing that has come from this is that we have also learned how these places are developed, how they do their thing. And this is the kind of thing we would want our place to look like. A civilization that started with us but was interrupted by colonialism and the creation of Nigeria and the amalgamation of the state called Nigeria. We found out that we have to go back to who we are. Going back to who we are is not easy, because there are some of us who are so reluctant to join what we're doing. There are others who may, at the surface, they say, oh yeah, that sounds good, I want to be part of this project. But they don't have that zeal. They're not strongly rooted in their conviction. They're not strongly rooted in what they believe in. And so they give up. Somewhere along the way, they give up. But IPOB, why we exist, is not just to fan the fire of self-determination, to draw the drum of freedom, but to keep together and sustain the consciousness of the identity and culture of who we are, of our people. And by doing so, we lead our people to a new way of life, a life where there is freedom, where they can thrive in a new nation called Biafra. To do this, we must be strongly rooted in our conviction, so that when we are being discouraged, we revisit that voice you heard that called you to join this. For most of us, is the voice of our leader, Mazi Kanu. Is the power of the truth that he was, or that he always speaks in relation to who we are, to our plight as a people, and to oppression by Nigeria and its coalition. That, for most of us, was what inspired us to be part of this project. And so don't lose sight of the inspiration, the first inspiration, that first point at which you fall in love with IPOB, with the project, with the mission to restore Biafra. Try to visit that point anytime you are struggling, as most of you are at this time, with the memoirs that are coming up and the things we are reading on social media, and the fight, the consistent distraction that's coming from the enemy's camp, and the news about our leader, and the hardship in Nigeria and everywhere we live. At the end of the day, I want us to revisit the voice we heard, whether it's the voice of God, whatever you call it, the voice of our leader, for most of us, myself included, whether the voice of your own conscience was the point of turning, conviction for you. Always visit that before you go to bed, because then you keep your spirit strong in this struggle. Only then you renew your spirit and remain firm in your convictions. And the conviction is, we are indigenous people of Biafra. we have equal rights like every other human person on earth to collectively have our own self-determination, the freedom to live and thrive as a people. And if these are what you can call eternal truth, these are absolutely true in the face of law and in the face of nature, that every human person want to be free. Therefore, you cannot back down. You must keep on fighting. You must keep on pushing forward, because the oppressor also is struggling just as you are. Those who are causing this confusion, those who are making you to be disillusioned, to lose hope in what we're doing, they are not relentless. However, they also get tired, because when they exalt when they run out on their agenda and propaganda and all of that, guess what? They get tired too. But if you remain consistent, if you remain persistent, demanding that which is our right, Biafra, no matter what the gossip is going around you, no matter the distraction, no matter the news, it does not matter. Remain strong, or rather, remain strongly rooted in your convictions. Let that first voice you heard that spoke to your conscience and propelled you into becoming part of what we're doing, of this project, of this becoming part of this great mission to restore Biafra. Let that be your last line of defense in this battle, because that your friend tomorrow can turn into something else. That person that you look up and then you kind of inspire, you say they inspire you in this struggle, they can become anything else tomorrow. They can be bought over, they can give up, they can willingly resign. But you know what is not gonna fail you is your convictions. Convictions rooted in your conscience can never fail you. These convictions, you trace them. They have origins at the beginning. At that time, you heard that voice of our director or the voice of our conscience to get involved in what we're doing. These convictions, they get even stronger when you remember that people, young men and women, children, our fathers and our mothers, they've given their sacrifice everything, including their blood, their own life, for us to be free. Let that motivate you, and let every other thing not bother you, because every other thing fall under what you call strategies. You can put them together. You can change things. The way of doing things may change, but your conviction for Biafra should remain, because with that conviction, you're going to fight with us, and we're going to fight together to get Biafra. No matter how long it takes, no matter the strain it costs, no matter the sacrifices on the way, perseverance will lead us through. And that perseverance is found in the original self-conviction that you had when that voice spoke to you in your conscience. So that would be my encouragement to all of us tonight. And I would like at this point to welcome my colleagues from Australia, my comrades, and I'll give them opportunity to make their own contribution. And I'll come back to you to wrap it up. I'd like to call Mazi IYKE to please make his contribution. Mazi, over to you.
Thank you, Mazi IYKE. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to our people once again. Like we always say, it's a privilege for us to speak to our people, and we are not the ones here talking because we are the brightest of mind, but it is because of our sheer commitment to this. All protocols duly observed, and I would want to also thank our continental rep who's been giving us this great opportunity on Radio Biafra to talk to our people and to encourage our people not to lose faith in what we believe in. Today, I would really want us to look into one of the proverbs. Our people, Inuwu o mmanụ eji eli okwu. I would want us to consider one I came across that couple of days ago, and I was just ruminating over the meaning of that. Is it a proverb? Asana onye ji ihe nwata aka fụrụ ya ụfụ o wetuo aka nwatakịrị ewelu ife bụ nke ya. And I was just thinking about it. We know for our non-Igbo speaking Biafrans, what the proverb says is, if you're holding something that belongs to a child, because you're taller than the child and you're just raising your hands higher, when you get tired, you bring down your hands and the child will collect what belongs to them. And this is a wise saying, meaning that your actions that are not justified will never it's never going to conquer the actions that are righteous. So if you're doing something because you are higher than somebody, at the end of the day, you will still come down to the level of that person when you are tired of perpetrating that evil. Now, the question I asked myself is, what if the child is no longer there? Like, some of us are parents and we know how your child will come to you and say, I need so and so, and maybe you say, no, I'm not giving you the remote. I'm not giving you the remote. Yeah, Daddy, give me the remote. And no, I'm not giving you the remote. And you're just raising your hands up. At the end of the day, you bring down your hands. Why would you bring down your hands? It's for two reasons. Number one, you're tired of playing that game with the child and you want to give the child whatever it is that they are trying to get from you, or that the child is no longer paying attention and you raise down your hands, you bring down your hands to rest your hands until the child comes back again to ask for that. You raise your hands again. So when this thing came to me, it revealed to me the importance of consistency, the importance of being focused on the goal, the importance of not losing the grip on the reality of events. And this is the situation of our people. We cry today, we go to events, we do rallies, we talk to people, we cry, they've been killing us, they are killing us, we raise awareness, we go out in all of the diaspora, we go to Belgium, we go to UK, we go in the US, in Australia, in Asia, in so many African countries, and even back home. We cry. And then when the people who are holding our freedom wants to bring down their hands because they are tired, they look around and we are no longer there. In one of our broadcasts, Mazi Kanu said, if only in the 1967 to 70 war, we continued that war for another 6 months, we will not be in the situation we are right now. Because what happened when the world realized that this is genocide, that this is wrong, that this is premeditated evil against a people, before they could look around, most of the people that were fighting were already on airplanes going to overseas. Most of the people were out. People were just going about their business. And you ask them, was it those people that were at war? And they were, yes, they've resolved. They don't have any problem anymore. And that is the same problem we are having today. We complain, we write letters, we do whatever we are supposed to do. And before the observers would say, okay, this is enough now, this is going to be dangerous, they bring up something and we lose focus. Key example, the issue of what's happening in Nigeria now, 2023 election or selection or whatever they call it. The people are looking now to say, okay, these guys are serious and now we need to really save Nigeria. That is why they are sending all those envoys to Nigeria. And now the people who's been crying foul, 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 foul are now relaxed, taking their hands off. So that was what came to me. He said to me, what happens when you bring down your hands and the child is no longer there? It means that the person who is bringing trouble to you is just gonna stay there and enjoy the moment of peace because you've stopped being consistent. And that is one of the key principles of IPOB struggle. We never back down. Like our leader said, we have crossed the Rubicon. We are never turning back. There is nothing that is going to make us stand down. Today, the life of Mazi Kanu is in jeopardy. Is it making us to stop agitating for Biafra? No. Rather, it is bringing out more fire in us. It is making us to take serious the oath that we have taken in this struggle to ensure that there is restoration of our human rights and freedom, our dignity. Today, is Mazi Kanu backing down? No, he is pushing forward. He said, you cannot do anything to my life. And I tell you, if you kill me today, Biafra will come quicker. It will come quicker. Can you hear me, Mazi? All right. There was just an interruption. I thought you were saying something to me. So now, this is where we've gotten to in this struggle. For us to have reality check, to understand where we are getting it wrong, and to correct those anomalies in our struggle. Oji ihe nwata mgbe aka bubeli ya mgbu, o wetuo aka ya. That is the reality. But a step further would be asking yourself, what if the nwata anọghọzi ebe ahụ? What if the child is no longer there? What if the child got fed up and left? So basically, it means that we can only go ahead in this struggle. We can only get results if we continue in this struggle, if we do not look back, if we do not change our strategy, if we continue in the principles that's been laid down for us, the principle of honesty, sincerity of purpose, if we continue ensuring that onye agha na nwanne ya, the principle of collectivism, that is what brought us thus far. The principle of consistency, obeying the control and the command. That is what our enemy fears. The unity of IPOB, the one voice of IPOB, is what our enemy cannot fathom. They cannot understand it. And that is what is bringing us to the victory. So when you are feeling down in this struggle, ask yourself, the years I've committed to this, the hours, the time, the sleepless nights, the people that has paid the ultimate price, the finances that I've contributed to this, the things that I've deprived myself, the rallies that I've gone to, and I want to stop now. What will be the benefit of those commitments, of those sacrifices I've made? That is why our leader is going forward. That is why he is knocking. They say breakthrough means you have to break through a surface to get what you want. If you do not break through the door, or through the wall, or through the barrier, you will not get to that promised land. It's just like when you are digging for gold. You have to break through the walls, through earth, through rock, until you get to the crust where you have the gold nuggets. That is the same thing. If you dig 20 miles down earth and then you stop at 21.5 while the gold is at 22 miles, you've wasted your time. You've wasted your resources. You've wasted your energy. That is why we will continue being at the doorpost of our enemies. We will continue to be at the gate. We will continue to do what we are doing right. We will continue to say what is wrong and try to correct it. Are you backing down today? Do you have electricity? No. Do you have jobs? No. Do you have medical care? No. Do you have road network? Do you have economy? What do you have? Why would you stop now? Have you achieved the core aim of this struggle? No. So we will continue to be at the gate till we get that wholesome freedom that we are agitating for. Nothing's gonna stop us. Because if we stop right now, the years we've spent into this, we cannot recoup it. We can never recover the lost souls, the lost finances, the lost energy, the families we've lost, the relationships we've lost, the opportunities we've lost. Most people in this struggle, they've been promised heaven and earth. They've been promised money. But because of this struggle, they rejected it. So you're telling them to stop now. Are they going to stop now and go back to say, oh, that money you promised before, can you give me that money now? No. That is why we have crossed the Rubicon. And what we are fighting for, we must get. Why must we get it? Because it is rightfully ours. It belongs to us. It is what we have. It was stolen from us. Our identity is stolen from us. That is why we will never back down. Ojihe nwata, aka gbubi ya mgbu, o wetuo aka. But for that idiom or proverb to work, to be beneficial, the child must be present to collect what belongs to him or her. Secondly, I would want us to understand that there is nothing in life that is free. There is nothing in life that is free. No matter how good, it is not free. If it's free, then you have to check very well if it's good. So whatever you see in our journey to freedom, to Biafra, is what encourages us to know that what we are fighting for is good. Do you think if Biafra is not going to be good, that the Fulani and the Cabal and Nigeria and Britain and America and world powers will stand against it? No, they will not. That is why they are channeling money to Nigeria election, because they know it will not bring out any good. Let me ask you a question. How many amounts of money, when have you ever heard that America is coming to build a hospital in Nigeria? When have you heard that America is donating so amount of money towards education or to curb unemployment? When have you heard that America is removing their visa fees for Nigerians? When have you heard that America, the other time I said on this platform that 1 mile of the Sahara Desert can give the whole world electricity, solar powered electricity. If you mount solar panels in 1 mile of just the Sahara, it will give electricity to the whole world. But are they doing it? No. So for them to stand against the actualization of Biafra, they know it is going to be good. That is why they gave you Buhari. Jonathan, in his little mind, was trying to change that place. In his little mind, he was deceived. And America gave you Buhari today, who died in power, and they kept that truth from you guys so that they can control you. If it was good, why will they prefer Buhari to Jonathan? Why will Obama campaign for Buhari against Jonathan? Was it education? Was it in terms of democracy? The antecedent of Buhari was there already. In democracy, no military general is supposed to even participate in democratic process to campaign or to stand for an election, let alone somebody that toppled a democratically elected government. So he is disqualified. But they knew what they wanted: to destroy you. They supported him. Today, they are getting back into Nigeria to give you a moribund man to make sure that you continue in that penury. Are we killing people? No. Do they say we should fight for our rights? Yes. Are we asking for our right? Yes, correct. Why are they not supporting us? It's like the pastor that says to you, give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, shall men give unto your bosom. But he finishes the service and you go to his house to tell him that you don't have food. And he tells you, go and pray. God will provide. Through who? Because it is easy to say, but show me the actions to match what you're preaching to me. How can you want good for Nigeria? How can you want democracy where you are stifling people who are agitating for a democratically laid down process of referendum? The right to determine, the right to know the mind of the people. and you stand against them. You kill them. So if you are in doubt about the originality and the genuineness of Biafra, just look around you. Because the devil does not stop anything evil. Rather, tries to stop that which is good. That thing which is beneficial to you. That is the only thing that the devil or the enemy, let me use the word, the enemy will try to stop. Your enemy will never see trailer coming to kill you and go and jump in front of this trailer to stop the trailer. No. He will only stop someone coming to your house with a bag of rice. You say, no, he's not around today. He traveled while you are there, dying of hunger. So whatever good that Biafra is going to bring to you is going to restore your mind, restore your dignity, restore your identity, make you to start reasoning. That is why we say all of this. And they do not want that for you. That is why they are standing in the way. And what do you have to do? You must keep punching them in the belly. You must keep punching them in the belly. You must keep punching them in the belly until they vomit and give way. So you can go into where you rightfully belong. So never doubt the authenticity of the Biafran struggle, because it is not just for your good. Most of us are no longer doing this for ourselves. We are doing it for our unborn generation. We are doing it for the dignity of the Igbo man. Before, you go to universities, to places, and they ask you your second language, you go and scroll all through the languages. You cannot see Igbo there. But we've done things and asked questions and said it in their face. Now you can see Igbo there. Today, they are trying as much as possible to hide the notion of Biafra, but we keep putting it in their face. And one day, very soon, you will scroll down those drop boxes and see the name Biafra there. And then we can rest in peace. We can reincarnate as free-born, enjoying the rights and the dignity of life. I will stop thus far. Thank you, Mazi, for giving us the opportunity. And my comrade, thank you very much. I will hand over the mic now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mazi IYKE. Thank you for a wonderful contribution. And yeah, I would like to invite Mazi Silas to please continue from where Mazi IYKE stopped. Mazi, over to you. Mazi Silas, over to you. Hello, Mazi Salas, we can't hear you. I think he might be having connectivity problem. All right, just like Mazi was saying, it does look like for some people they might think, oh, when are you guys getting this Biafra? Why is it we haven't gotten this Biafra? It's taking too long. But don't forget there's been a process. It's a process. And there's been processes that have been accomplished successfully, one of which Mazi mentioned. That Biafra was brought back, there was a rebirth of Biafra in the consciousness of the world, of the international community. Anywhere you go, hardly you mention Biafra, and people do not know. At least they can research. They can find something about us instead of finding something about the war that ended 50 something years ago. They find facts that are still very prevalent in our time. So that's the achievement of IPOB, and a lot more to come. Mazi Silas, if you're back in, let's try you again. Take the microphone and go on, Mazi. Hello, Mazi Silas. I think Mazi is having connectivity issues. Mazi might need to log out and log back in. I might fix it.
Might have to check his mute and the microphone.
So while we wait on Mazi Silas to rejoin us, it is as Mazi just said again, we are no longer fighting for ourselves. Some of us, we've seen it all. Some of us have been living outside, living in the Western world for many years. Some are sick of it, we're tired of it. Others are like, well, whatever happens. But for the sake of the generations to come, we do not want them to live like we did, to have to suffer, to have to go through this inhuman experience that we are forced to go through because we are Biafran, because we are born in a place where there is no freedom, where we have no freedom and the right and the opportunity to thrive, for which we have all seen ourselves scattered all around the world. So we're fighting this for generations to come. The things we're enjoying in Australia, in America, in Europe today were built, were put in place. The structures, the innovations, although innovation is ongoing, or the civilization, the so-called Great Western Civilization. These are the works of people that have gone before us. People make greater sacrifices for the generations to come. So that, that's how you know, that's the difference between a human being and an animal. Animal comes and they hunt for themselves, they get the food, they don't worry about even other people, whether they're going to have something, they finish it off so long as they're hungry. But us human beings, we have a conscience. That's why Mazi Nnamdi can refer to Nigeria as an animal, because everybody's behaving like we're living in the jungle. Because a civilized life of civilization requires that you live your life with gratitude to the generation that have gone ahead of you, but also with commitment to make the world better for generations to come after you. So there is a chain of interconnectivity between those who have gone before us and us who are currently living, and the generation and this world too. Now Mazi Salas is back in, and I will pass the mic to him. Mazi, please go on.
Thank you very much. My apologies for that technical hiccup. Thank you, my dear colleagues, great Biafrans all over the world, and our dear freedom lovers who are listening and actually sympathizing with our condition. We greet you guys at this hour, and we pray for good health, prosperity, success for all of our friends, all Biafrans, and especially for our dear leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I would honestly repeat, I immensely thank the leadership of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and IPOB members around the world for providing this very important organization, very important forum that is propagating this Biafra restoration struggle. I pray that we all will be alive to see the independent state of Biafra. And at the end of the day, people of goodwill would have learned what it means to be tenacious, what it means to stick to your gun when you have the truth, what it means to be real and identify who you are and follow your ancestry. I will also add that the task of restoring Biafra is the most important task for all Biafrans in this category of priority. The task for restoring Biafra is the most important task for all Biafrans, all Africans, all African Americans, and all men of goodwill, wherever they may be. The reason I included the African Americans is to use them as a glowing example for a people that have been deprived of their ancestry, people that have been deprived of their identity, history, and ways of life. The African Americans were stolen, used, dehumanized, killed, and eventually casted into the most inferior man-made class. The reason it even happened in the first place was because those of the Africans, including the Biafrans that existed before the colonial people came, were so caught in their skin, in their environment, they needed not much, and as a result, they did not develop their skills and technologies further than that of the invading colonizers. And it is staring in our face now. What are we doing? You know, that neo-colonial issue is still happening. And what are we doing to improve our lots for tomorrow? If you ask yourself that question, you will know why IPOB is fighting. If you do not have your own political space, if you do not have your own state, you cannot make policies. You cannot address common issues like environmental issues, climate change, food production, agriculture, culture, ethnic issues. You cannot even enforce religious issues that are creeping up everywhere. So look at it from that way. Use the African Americans as an example now. Go to America. They're killing African Americans like goats. You know, the way they treat African Americans, they will not treat their, you know, the animals that live in their house. They don't. For a minor offense or a minor for a suspicious circumstance, they will shoot them. It is happening because they don't have a place they can run to. There is no state or nation that can ask for them. And in the area called Biafra, in the area harboring communities or peoples of Biafra, is the area we have produced, or that area have produced men of the highest IQ, if you can put it that way, of the highest strength, also of the highest intelligence around the world. Do you know that the first mechanized plowing machine, plowing tractor, the tractor that tilled the ground and made it into molds where you can now sow seeds? When I mean sow seeds, it's not the pastoral sowing of seeds, where you literally put seeds in the ground and allow it to germinate. Literally, the first tractor fitted with plowing machine were made by the Igbos, the Biafrans. This is direct, it's not just any other black person. And when you look at people like Nat King Cole and Carson them, and all those people that have traced their origins back to the Biafran land, does that give you some sort of idea where Biafrans will be if we are to have our own state? And why can't we develop and be who and be what and be how we want to be inside the geographical space currently called Nigeria? It's because of the policies of Nigeria, driven largely by nepotic Fulanis, driven by mediocrity, driven by those who don't have the interest of even that geographical space at heart, driven by bloodsuckers who go to farmers, who goes to farming villages, who travels to farming communities to wipe them out and take over their land. That is the worst. You can compare that with the current situation that is happening. Oh, I wanted to mention, and this is the opportunity, Biafrans, wherever you are, remember there is a world war going on. A world war going on in Europe. And Europeans have fought wars for many centuries. The Scots and the English, the German and their neighbors. And if you ever travel to Europe, you will witness fields of burial grounds for wars that happened 1,000 years ago, 9,000 years ago, 8,000 years ago, and to the recent ones that is happening. Why am I referring to this? Contemporarily, the effect of this war will affect everybody on the planet, particularly to Biafrans. It means that some men of goodwill, their attention will be taken away. Those who would listen and say, Biafrans have suffered a lot. some good men who are listening may not, may be distracted by this war. Globally, I am saying this because of some um, information that I happen to be where it is passed. There will be more scarcity going on. There will be more scarcity of certain things that come to Biafra as imported goods, because those who are manufacturing them would have to be satisfied with the quantity they have before they start exporting. These are facts, and these facts were reminded to me because of our underdeveloped technology, underdeveloped economy, and inadequacies in several areas. And when I look at it and ask myself, what is the solution? How do we start today? We can only start when we have our own Biafran state. Those of you that are planning to, go and develop your economy and then your people will be good. Where are you going to develop this economy when the political class are busy sponsoring terrorism, sponsoring anarchy? They are saying it themselves. They are saying it themselves. Those who shot Hakim reported that the amount of sophistication he saw, overwhelmed him. He came out and completely removed IPOB from it. So, sorry for that digression. How are you going to set up a nice school when you don't control the curriculum? Even Christian religious knowledge was removed from the syllabus of WAEC, when more than half of the nation are Christians. How do you improve how to learn physics if your commander-in-chief did not finish primary school and does not know where his certificate is, and no one can attest to where they schooled? He first claimed he had his credentials are held by the military. The military came back and said, no, we don't have people's credentials. How do you improve your legal system when all of a sudden someone who did not study in the orthodox legal studies was brought in to lead those who actually went to law school? How does that happen? How do you effect a secure country? How do you ensure security when when amongst the two front runners in the next presidential race, one of them has been accused by his brothers, his party members, as the sponsor of Boko Haram and all the ethnic cleansing militia happening? How do you secure such a country when you don't have honest men at the front? How do you have hope when you cannot see positivity? How do you believe these men when they can't even come out and speak against injustice? How do you have hope when they cannot come out and condemn the killings that are happening in the land? How do you have hope when the most current issues are not being touched by those who are claiming or running to be the leaders of the country? There is no hope. Any honest man, you don't need to be very intelligent, any honest man analyzing the Nigerian situation looking at what is out there in the horizon, we know that Nigeria is decaying. It died many years ago. What propels a nation is patriotism. Patriotism makes you want to work. I tell you, patriotism makes the policing, the forces of cohesion, those individuals that support it. Patriotism is the thing that makes them to stand before bullets to defend those who are unarmed. There is no patriotism. How do you have hope in such an entity when the highest court would give judgment, and those who are supposed to protect that court would refuse to obey the court orders? How do you have hope when Chief Justice can be removed because of some flimsy reasons? Such flimsy reasons will not apply to other people from their own area. How do you have hope when the Accountant General of the Federation will steal up to 100 billion naira, and he will be asked to bring only 1% of it as his bail, whereas young boys and girls who gather and play games with their computers are arrested and sometimes killed without trial, blackmailed because of their background? How do you continue with such a nation that would organize operations such as Python dance and kill unarmed innocent Biafrans, and do it frequently, time without number? And is there any good men or good people with goodwill, or how do we put it, in Nigeria? It makes us weep deeply in our heart. In our hearts, it makes us weep very, very deeply, and wish there could be a quick way out. If anybody is in doubt, call a referendum. Don't call election. Call a referendum and see how many people would want to be in the contraption. Nigeria is held together because of the force of cohesion led by the police and the military and all that. If you want to be truly democratic, let us have a referendum and ask Biafrans, do you guys want to stay in Nigeria? You will see a resounding no, and you will see a resounding yes for Biafran state. And that is the start. Biafran state will be the start of our living again. Look around the world, as my colleagues mentioned earlier. Biafrans are scattered everywhere. But thank God, thank goodness, they can survive. They go wherever, they will struggle, they will start from the scratch. At the end of the day, they will at least reach the average height of every other person in that community or state. Initially, when we get the visa opportunity to travel, we go to the church and do Thanksgiving that we finally succeeded, and now we're out. But at this age, when we look at everything and analyze it, we saw that we have left the heaven that God gave us on earth to live in some other people's land. We realize that our living depletes our culture. We realize that our living weakens our community. We realize as we live, the Fulani Janjaweeds are planning and watching and then replacing the demography of the southeast, the Biafran communities with their own. And we also weep that not many people are paying attention to this. If I may start rounding up, the survival, the beginning of our existence now will be the restoration, the full restoration of Biafra as an independent state. A state where we can get together and plan our roads, starting from drainage. You don't, state by state, you don't plan drainage because you're living in a region with a defined contour and gradient where you can decide to run water from a drainage system from the farthest point in Abo to Port Harcourt and connect houses, small municipalities into those areas. A place where in a situation where you can plan, where you would have your dams, irrigation dams, from which water will be purified and distributed within the entire nation. This is what it is in London, in Britain. Same in New South Wales. New South Wales is probably is definitely bigger than Great Britain. And I can tell you, I did work on dams. That's why I'm using this example. And the amount of dams, the surface area of dams in New South Wales and Queensland, the surface area there is almost the size of Great Britain. Does that ring a bell? So we need a state. We need a state as it should be, so that we can plan simple irrigation, simple drainage system, road system, agriculture, education, the way we like it, the way it aligns with our ways of life, the way it aligns with our desire and what we want it to be. Look at Japan. Look how small they are. Count how many Toyota vehicles you find in any city of the world. That is what Biafra can do. Like our leader said, we do not hate anyone. We don't want people who stand on our way for our way to having Biafra. Those are the people that are looking for our trouble. We hate those who are holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention. And some people shy away from using that word. We hate them because they are harming an innocent man who wants a peaceful resolution of the badly constructed Nigerian state. We just want to go. Let us go. We don't want to stay there to fight with people who wants to do things in the wrong way. We are people of values. Our values, our systems of life, our organized, organic communities have been attested by the colonial people that came. They bought Igbos then for a higher price than they will get from any other person. It's shameful to say it, but ironically, it says who is desired more and who has the strength. Strength is not just strength of the power of the hand, or strength is also found in intelligence, or intelligence actually makes you stronger. So I can't stop appreciating who we are as Biafrans, and I will always proclaim Biafra. All we want is Biafra. We do not hate anyone, and whoever that is holding Mazi Nnamdi should think and let him go. You cannot win. You cannot sustain the conscious. You cannot sustain the attack, or the the interest in trying to suppress Biafra. You cannot sustain it. The Biafra we are talking about has grown like a seed, and it is growing and brewing in a very efficient way. At the right time, everything should be made aware. So I will thank all Biafrans, all our people, great freedom lovers, great Biafrans, wherever you are. Remain strong. Do not be moved. Look at the resilience the both sides are putting in Ukraine, fighting for land, fighting for historical antecedent, fighting to retain their history, fighting to provide security for their land, fighting to be who they want to be. That's their own analysis and story. Ours is for us to have a place where we call home, where we can live, strive, and grow without interference. Thank you very much, Mazi. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mazi, for your wonderful contribution. It is very important, like we have highlighted, that our people understand the plan for Biafra is huge. It's bigger than just having a president and get some aspect of the country kind of moving it forward and get some things changed. We're talking about total holistic change and growth and development, which only Biafra can bring. So stay steady, our IPOB all over the world, remain steadfast, and we will win as always. Our leader will come out and Biafra will come. Stay steadfast. Thank you, my colleagues, for your contribution. At this point, I would like to thank Mazi IYKE and all our audience for listening to us and for giving us this wonderful opportunity and sharing it with us tonight. Thank you, Mazi, and we'll see you back next week.
Thank you so much for your broadcast this morning, and looking forward to seeing you again next week, as you promised. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. My name is Mazi IYKE. At this juncture, I have to, let me see. All right, goodbye, guys. Talk to you again next week. All right, at this juncture, I have to shut down because I have an emergency I have to take care of this morning. But hopefully tomorrow we'll be together and stay longer. From here, from me, it's goodbye at this point. But let's see. Yeah, maybe I can shut down officially, normally the way I used to. Unfortunately, okay, now let's see. I can do that. This technology sometimes it takes his own decision. When you're saying something else, you're doing something else. All right, at this point, let's say goodbye from here. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. My name. I'll be with you again tomorrow, hopefully, by His grace. Take care now.
In Biafra lies our religion, the last hope we have is in Biafran restoration. I believe. Listen to Radio Biafra. It's where we worship as a Chukokike Abiyama. Let your kingdom come. Listen to Radio Biafra. It's where we worship as a Chukokike Abiyama. Let your kingdom come. Lord, save a nation from the evil Britain. There will be sing and dance for the world to know you, our God. I believe. Listen to Radio Biafra. It's where we worship as a Chukokike Abiyamra. Let your kingdom come. Listen to Radio Biafra. It's where we worship as a Chukokike. Listen to Radio Biafra. It's where we worship as a Chukokike.
N'isi Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ebugharịcha adọbakwa ọ dị mfe ekwe mbum ofu ekpentụ eji katapila ebughị Mazi Nnamdi Kanu odogwu n'eli mmanwụ karịrị mmanwụ anyị anụna n'okwu ebiene mwelitegolo ebini welusi ka mgbugharị ya Chukwu okike n'elu ofom ibe ọma Chineke mere anyị n'ọrụ ọma ọrụ ụlọ anyị oke odogwu nnọọ.
Good morning, good afternoon, and
Enough is enough. We tolerate nonsense. It is because we want to tolerate. This is Katrina Lang. Listen to her. Listen to Katrina Lang and see what she is saying. The faith of her citizen, her fellow citizen, a fellow British citizen is in danger. She cares nothing about it. She's just oblivious. She's simply not not in any shape or form down to earth. They are simply imposing their wills because we want them to. We cannot say shut up and get out. We can't say that. Why can't we say it? Because we have over-respected them. We have carried them to a point where whatever they say goes. And we don't let them know how we feel. They have finished us. How can the High Commissioner come and tell you about vote? Go and get your PVC. What is her responsibility? What has she got to come and tell you what to do? What is her mission? Is she the one dictating to us what to do and what not to do in the presence of danger, where a British citizen is being poisoned and it did not concern her? What concerns her most is the vote. Have you ever just gone to a corner to say, why is she this way? And always talking about the relationship between Britain and Nigeria. She's not telling you that Britain is the one that fermented Nigeria. Listen to her, please.
Please, we will sing later because you know our people has been here since morning and some of them travel 4-5 hours to get to this place. I told them that by 2 we will have finished. Look at the time now, so let me quickly.
Pardon me, that shifted.
Senior, born before 1957, in need of dental work. This will shock you.
Mrs. Liang stated that the United Kingdom believes in Nigeria's Shiwaju Tinubu. Mrs. Liang stated that the United Kingdom believes in Nigeria's democracy and commends its journey so far. She disclosed that the meeting is one of the many visitations to all the presidential candidates ahead of the general election next year.
Very grateful to His Excellency's team for meeting us today. This is one of a series of meetings with all the main presidential candidates. The UK is a firm and long-standing partner of Nigeria. We believe in Nigeria's democracy and we commend the democratic journey. So one of the things we talked about is the importance of Nigeria's democracy and for encouraging Nigeria to join what our government calls a network of liberty. The world will be watching these elections and all the presidential candidates have a huge responsibility to play their part to make sure they are peaceful and credible, which will help Nigeria, I think, establish its rightful place in the world. Whoever comes into government, and of course it could be this presidential aspirant, His Excellency Tinubu, it could be somebody else, the UK government will continue to work very closely with Nigeria. We have a long history, a deep history. We have people-to-people links. We want Nigeria to succeed, Nigeria's success.
Is she drunk or what? I mean, see how she's, or she was hyperventilating. She's aware that she's lying. She's lying. And that's why the hyperventilation. That's why it's taking place. Just listen to her. Your relationship with Nigeria. You don't want, it is only in Nigeria they will go. What is the importance where you cannot defend human rights? You created DSS to kill the people, to suppress any uprising. And you're talking about democracy and the world seeing, and the world is not condemning atrocities being committed by your agents, the DSS. And you are not condemning it. You are not talking about your citizens being poisoned in prison. And what is more important to you is election. And look at you visiting the candidates. And they were at the Chatham House. All the lies, cover-ups, you never said them. That will tell Nigerians, those who say they're Nigerians, what's in stock for them. See what you can make out of it. I'll play it again. Then that's your take on it.
Seniors can get
Asiwaju Tinubu. Mrs. Liang stated that the United Kingdom believes in Nigeria's democracy and commends its journey so far. She disclosed that the meeting is one of the many visitations to all the presidential candidates ahead of the general election next year.
Very grateful to His Excellency's team for meeting us today. This is one of a series of meetings with all the main presidential candidates. The UK is a firm and long-standing partner of Nigeria. We believe in Nigeria's democracy and we commend the democratic journey. So one of the things we talked about is the importance of Nigeria's democracy and for encouraging Nigeria to join what our government calls a network of liberty. The world will be watching.
Where have Nigeria been since then? Under your rule, under your dictatorship, under your instructions for over 100 years. How come they haven't reached this mark? And you're still dictating, pointing fingers. Do this and do that. You are talking to immature people. You are talking to people that cannot, just say this is where we're headed. You are coming to tell us what your thoughts are and what you want. What about what we want? We want to be free from you.
Watching these elections, and all the presidential candidates have a huge responsibility to play their part to make sure they are peaceful and credible, which will help Nigeria, I think, establish its rightful place in the world. Whoever comes into government, and of course it could be this presidential aspirant, His Excellency Tinubu, it could be somebody else, the UK government will continue to work very closely with Nigeria. We have a long history, a deep history. We have people-to-people links. We want Nigeria to succeed, Nigeria's success.
What is the principles of democracy? What are parts of it? Referendum. Did you mention it? You can stand and talk. When Britain was being pulled out of EU, you were happy. You voted. And we are telling you we want to be free. We want a referendum. And you're saying you believe in what is happening for over 100 years. And our people sit and watch and entertain her as she lies. Let her go back where she comes from. We have something on the table, and that thing we have on the table is the unconditional and immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu, who you have blindly locked up in your guard, the DSS, why did you not mention, why did you not question, why did you not investigate the circumstances leading to his punishment? You are a liar, Katrina Lang. You are a born liar, agent of death. Anywhere you go, death follows you. And there are people out there watching her. Nobody has summed up courage to tell her, go back to where you come from or stay in your embassy. Stay there. You don't come out to meddle in their election and dictate who goes and who doesn't go and what you want to see. Are you telling me that we are not capable of making our own decisions? We are capable of making our own decisions. That is why we're telling you we want a referendum. If you are for peace, why don't you promote our own side of the story? That we want to be free. We want to be breathing tomorrow's air from whatever is left of us that your grandfathers killed, that your father promoted the genocide meted out on Biafrans, and you are descendant of those agents, and you are carrying out the policies of your fathers. If you have not been able to say, investigate how Nigeria, who wants to be in international light, committed international law, broke international law, you did not act on it. You did not say anything. This is a tweet that came up. We must learn to tweet. We must ensure that we tweet. Tweet and tweet and tweet. Before Ndengwa comes, let me put this up so that you know what I'm talking about. It is people that change situations. It is people that make conditions acceptable and livable. It is people that do that. Alhaji Shehu tweeted, Alhaji Shehu, 18 hours ago, this is his tweet. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, peace be upon him. In bracket, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a man of peace sent by Allah. This young man is on divine mission, just like Prophet Muhammad. Peace be unto him. The anger of Allah is upon Nigeria for holding one of his own. I see danger. This is what Alhaji Shehu tweeted. I brought this up is because his name is Alhaji Shehu. If Alhaji Shehu can say this, where are Biafran politicians? Where are they? There was a clip I encountered yesterday. I was going to use it for the broadcast where they came to Arise Television and talked about the violence in the southeast. Do you know what one of the Igbo men said? Bring the troops and kill people that are causing trouble. Who are those causing trouble? Politicians were local government officials were killed. You don't know who killed them. And he was the advocating. Bring troops, come and kill our people. This is the mentality of Ndibo, who are trying to portray themselves what they are not. They are trying to show you that they are important. For one reason or the other, we Biafrans have formed the habit of eliminating ourselves. If this is our way of life, why is it that the other people cannot use us and finish us? This is why they are finishing us. Because instead of calling a spade, we wander around and try to please other people, try to look good in the eyes of other people when we are the ones being obliterated. Tell me why somebody who says he is intelligent will come always in the southeast, where you have the bandits, where you have the cattle herdsmen, where you have Mighty Allah, where you have ISIS, where you have Boko Haram, all of them in the southeast. And somebody with his common sense, because of election, did not talk about the release of Mazi Kanu. You see the mentality of Ndibo. Whether you are running for president or not, you have not mentioned the ill treatment meted against your own fellow Biafran, fighting for your stinking ass, trying to save you. What you are interested in is politics, calling for the importation of troops, Boko Haram soldiers into Biafra land. To kill who? And Alhaji Shehu is talking on your behalf. And it seems like when you are in front of the camera, your brain dries off, your brain goes. If Alhaji Shehu can see that Mazi Kanu is a man of peace, why are the agents of Britain still holding him? And somebody from nowhere is coming to tell you what she expects from you, the servant of British Empire. What she expects from you. Go and vote. No matter the politician you put in there, we are in control. Be the politician Atiku, where Britain is in control. Be him what's his name? Obi, we are in control. Regardless. And we sit and look and mope. I have not seen anybody that have courage to say, Katrina Lang, can you please go back to your embassy and sit down? It is the decision that we reach that you will convey to your government in London. It is not you coming to direct us what to do. And Alhaji Shehu can stand and defend the maltreatment of Mazi Kanu. And you have our baboons calling for the importation of Fulani troops in the pretext of restoring law and order, killing people. Did you call for the importation of federal troops when the Fulanis are there killing, sacking villages, bombing of all? Are they not the federal troops? That is my question. Status have destroyed Biafrans. Quest for high achievement just to get a title have destroyed Biafrans. Just to have Esquire, Sir, Prof, Master, Doc, Igwe, Anebu, Okatobie, otu mkpụrụ mmiri na-ezo ha. Worthless titles. Uchendi Igbo. And you import those that killed your brothers, your grandfathers, your grandmothers, starved them to death, close to 5 million. You are calling them Uchendi Igbo. What a disaster. For those of you that wish Mazi Kanu dead, you wish him dead. You want to see him die. And you deny his health is in danger. You question whatever they are reporting about his health, right from our leader's mouth. Shame on you. Agents of death. Those that want to see him dead. That is what we are talking about. It is the behavior of our people. When are we going to change? When are we going to be honest to ourselves? And we've been shouting, talking about it, and people think we are just playing. The DOS, they have given you a stamp warning. You have no business holding our leader. The latest from Vanguard have seen it about Bintanyako signing an order for him to have immediate access to his doctor. But I'm not going to comment on it until they obey the court order. Until they obey the court order, which Katrina Lang is implementing. When they do these things, we watch and don't counter and don't say anything. We are going to hold DSS responsible. We are going to hold Biafran politicians responsible. We are going to hold Britain responsible for whatever that happens to Mazi Kanu. The culprit, the main offender is Britain. We have your number. We have your number. You have been doing things, committing crimes, and been getting away with it. And this time, we are going to be holding you responsible for your crimes. It is alarming. It is very regrettable. We have let ourselves down. We have disappointed our people shamelessly. And who are we expecting to do the work for us? We are the ones that will do the work by ourselves on our own effort, not waiting for other people to do it for us. We have to do it by ourselves. Let me remind you that Ndongwa will be here, so we will have to get everything in order. We have to get everything in order. There are other things, the insecurity. What's the insecurity? What is it all about? Who is responsible for it? The Fulanis. The Fulanis. They are responsible. They are the ones carrying out the insecurity. They are the ones carrying out the destabilization. They are the ones causing the killings. And it pains me when our own people, who are very much aware of the situation, will stand and call for you to bring troops to come and start shooting in our villages. It's very shameful. The moment we start holding these politicians responsible, then they will come to their senses. We see the disintegration of Nigeria. It's happening right before their eyes. But they are more interested is post. Before Brad comes on, let me remind our people this. Whenever we are talking, we only have one press release, and it comes from Emma Powerful. Be careful about those people saying they speak for Biafra. They are the voice of Biafra. Be very careful. What they say rhymes with the activities of Nigerian policy. And when Emma Powerful makes a press release, it is IPOB press release. And that is the responsibility of the press release, the voice of IPOB. And then this is his current press statement. The global family and movement of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, under the leadership and command of Mazi Kanu, the prophet, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the press release from Nigeria DSS dismissing the worsening health of our leader, Mazi Kanu, and labeling IPOB's press release as political. We want to remind the DSS and the public that Mazi Kanu deteriorating health is true and can't be termed a political statement. Nigeria's government and her secret police DSS are very much aware that Mazi Kanu's health is failing him from that poisoning. Denial of adequate medical attention to his ailment and torture through starvation as he continues to be held illegally in the DSS confinement. We will not be distracted by the ranting contained in the DSS press statement released through an anonymous person attempted to dismiss and play down the dire health condition of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. The reason for this is to distract people from the alarm that has been raised on their intention to systematically and covertly eliminate our leader. The Nigerian government should know by now that IPOB has zero interest in Nigerian politics. The DSS should explain why they have refused Mazi Kanu access to a doctor since the second week of December 2022. Why has he not been allowed to take his drugs according to prescription? It's on record that Mazi Kanu is very sick and he is dying slowly in DSS solitary confinement. IPOB members worldwide and Ndibo will not accept any explanation from anyone if anything should happen to him. Now, why are they denying? Because they have been exposed. They have been exposed. And the latest audio, direct audio, is an example of the lies peddled by the DSS. Lies peddled. Why will they stand to come and talk about political motivation? We are not interested in the politics. We have been saying it over and over again that we have no interest in your politics. We'll continue to say it. And we'll say it repeatedly over and over again. Release our leader. He has no business being in your custody. Turn him loose. And the audio will be played after Ndengwa. Then we'll play. That will open your eyes as to when they commit crime, they try to tell you that it is politically motivated, as if we are contesting for election. Politically motivated, as if we informed you that we are coming to contest for office. And then we're here, and I'll hand you over to Mazi. So Mazi, Ndewo, and welcome. Go ahead.
Okay. Alezi ndo madi gani tinde kani nde wonu asemya maro nukuma maro de tamma ta mbo abale mbo limo abo la fa mbo 2023 ta mbo ahia eke Alezi ndo madi gani nti asimulu ta mbe kekitaru muhama ke bora ni ndiro ndi le boga ya nulu ani no bachita asimo bachita mara ma o wa mara gamma asimo no toto ma ehi ma abali ma ebe ọbụla nọ dịka anyị nabatara taa mgbe ihe omume anyị nzukọ ndị ngwala redio Biafra US1 ọ bụ ugwa m na dede ma alụzila anyị nọ nga na n'ụbọchị taa dị emekwa otu anyị na-eji eme mara asụ Igbo ma Igbo ndị ọma dị ige anyị ntị ya mara ọmụkwu mma mara onye nta mma ụtụtụ ọma ehihie ọma abalị ọma ọdụkwa ndị ngwa ndị ọrụ m dịka anyị maazị na ọnọ n'otu ole asị m unu eke ọma nọ ndịkwa azara ahịa eke ada azụmazụ mma dịkwa azụta ihe ndị ọdịla ahịa n'ụbọchị taa ma si mpaghara ka ọ mara n'ụbọchị taa ya mara nnukwu mma mara onye nta mma ebe ọ bụla nọ anyị dị nabata dịka anyị nabata agbata obi ukwuru ibe gị ndị enyi gị ndị niile nwere onwe dị masị ndị niile ọ dị ichu ụra ndị niile dị ifuru nwere onwe ụra ndị niile mma mkpa nwere onwe dị la mmadụ ọbụla Chineke kere eke ladị ihe ka nwere onwe anyị na anyị agaghị nọ n'ala ka anyị bịara anyị bụ ndị ọbịa n'ime ya bụ anyị bụ ndị nsọ mmadụ asị Igbo ndị ọma dị ige anyị tara ụbọchị taa Igbo ọbụla nọdụ n'ọdụ anyị na anyị abịala ọdọ otu anyị ejikwa eme bụkwa otu ala ojikwa abụ adịghị anyị gwefuru ime kama a ga-egwefu anyị etinye mmadụ asị Igbo ọbụla nọdụ n'ọdụ anyị ụbọchị taa masịrị bịala ọtụtụ ọma ehihie ọma ndị ka anyị ga-agbafe ọsọ ada ụtọrọla eji amagarala bụ nke ọkwụrụ agwụchia ya dịka anyị ka nọ n'ezi ekele ka anyị nwee ike mepeta windo nke mepe ọnụ ụzọ ụlọ eluigwe kpọtụrụ onye kere anyị na adị mgbọrọ akara abụ ugbo n'ọkwa na akafu mbibi ihe ndị obodo onye ime eluigwe onye ukwu ya bụ na mmalite ọgwụgwụ ama machara nwanne otu onye isi iyi nke ndụ ngalaba dị isi ụlọ eze Chukwu okike abịama onye premier niile papa anyị vụtara ụbọchị taa mbụ ụbọchị ekele aka nsọ onye ezi omume ọ bụ ụbọchị ikere nye ndị Igbo ịmara ụbọchị taa mbụ n'ala Igbo onye ezi omume ọkaka na omeme ọtụtụ ebe n'ala Igbo o ji abụ onye nwụọ n'ụbọchị eke asị na onye ala aka ya adịghị ọcha eluigwe ụbọchị taa mbụ ụbọchị ndị oke nsọ n'ọtụtụ ala dị iche ọtụtụ ebe dị iche iche n'ala Igbo mbụ taa mbụ ụbọchị eke papa ọ bụ kere ụbọchị anyị ka ekwe n'ahịa asị ma anyị dị azụ ya na mpaghara dị iche iche n'ala Igbo n'obodo dị iche iche adị nile eji azụ afọ nile eji azụ nkwụ nile eji azụ eke nile eji azụ uri obodo ọbụla nwere ahịa na-eji ose azụ asụlọngara ala Igbo dị kọnsaịn ahịa ka obekarị mba ahịa afọ adị ndị ka ọgwụkwa ahịa orie papa ahịa ndị a bụ ahịa ikere na agbụkwa nna ọ dị ọgwụ anyị fụtakwa onye onye ezi omume otu o gwara m nwetara ọhụụ ndị abụọ ndị iji chọrọ ala Igbo mma si la ụbọchị ọbụla nketara nọ na-adụ ụbọchị ahịa dị ụtọ ana okwu ọbụla anyị kwubiri ya n'ụbọchị ka ehihie ahụ ịza anyị ekpere n'oge imere anyị ọma wefuru anyị ndị ọjọọ eluigwe ọka aka na omume adị ekwubi okwula taa mbụ ụbọchị eke si ka ha rabụ echiche ndị iro anyị niile ka ọ bụrụ ha lara n'iyi onye ezi omume ana m ara gị papa ọka aka na omeme echiche ndị iro anyị leta ọ bụrụ ha lara n'iyi onye ezi omume ndị ọbụla adị chụ anyị wepụrụ anyị achịcha chụgbuo ndị adị chụgbu anyị onye ezi omume ọbụla dị nwa nwoke onye nyere anyị otu mkpụrụ otu eji onye isi nzọtara n'ụkwụ onye ezi omume ana m arịọ gị ịmara ọnọdụ niile onye ezi omume ka ndị mmụọ ozi kpuchite ka ha bụ echiche ajọ mmadụ ka ọhụụ ha gara n'iyi onye ezi omume ana m arịọ gị kpuchite onye ezi omume lekwa ndị adị pịrị anya ajara garị pịa n'elu otu aja na garị wepụ echiche ndị iro na-agba onye ezi omume na mgbe ikpeazụ anya nsọ abịa gị bịa Chukwu ka abịa ma ise Ndị ka anyị ga-agba ndụmọdụ gbara akụla adị mgbọdụ bakala bụ ugbo alaeze ndọmadị ịga ntị anyị sụ ụbọchị taa mba eke ya mara onye mma mara onye nta mma okwu anyị bụkwa okwu anyị adịghị ọrụ ara ka ọ kee otu mkpụsịlọ bụ atagbu nwoke akpụrụ ọnụ lo akpa atabiri ọdụ ma adịghị tagbu nwoke akpụrụ ọnụ aga n'ilo ya ma adịghịkwa n'ụlọ ya agaghị tabiri ọdụ ọ jikwa na-abaghịtagide gị egwere mmiri nwụba anyị ka kpụ okwu anyị ọnụ ndị ka anyị ihe m chọrọ ikwu nna mbụ ndị ngwa anyị sọrọ ha sị ya n'otel ọ dịkwara ala ha adịghị ta mgbụwa la aja dị ya. That about listening very well. The thing you said, actually clarify. Just give me time. I will come to that because somebody say that la. Although you said that I'm keep on on air. Lomona ni bonye oge bagu. The landeka is law lo mama emre milono. Ane ukudi makwano. Ije like you bonye. So you just hold on a little. I will still come to that. Love him so long. I didn't hold on my water. Walking. I'll be able to problem the monkey. I do hello, Gakrakaru, Ma Barabia. Nobody that walk me in the Maposia, so much I may mellow. So they come deka. I do go up mono. They castle Hassan hotel or Dequara. Hassan hotel Adequara. Half an hour Tambuambua, Ajandia. Upon muddy way. G when data. Only so abri megre. I see them see the Kupa Lobachet and Bekibo, and the Kanyamara. I didn't need by La Matabing. Oja de Mamado Homa in the Lakia. Yejiquama. Mother Homa in the Lakia Yejiquama. Equalata on the Euro. Na for Coluche, behind him. When I want to on later you come back, please. When that one later you come back, I'm move on Colon Bico. All the time Yenela and the one de Chineke goes in Agozi. Moroto to her teach in a year. But indeed, they take care for granted. Alibo was blessed by the Chuku Kikabiama. But it is quite unfortunate. Is it quite unfortunate? It is somehow that Igbo people don't value what they have. Ndị Igbo adịghị eji ha enwere mkpọrọ. Ha enwere ụtọ adịghị eji ụtọ ya bụ ụtọ ndị ọdọ bute ndị isi Chineke ndị Igbo enwere onwe n'otu. Ọkụkọ anyị ọkụ maọbụ anyị nweghị ike na ndị Igbo nwere. N'ụgwọ anyị bụ ụtọ ndị Igbo nwere adịghị ha eji akpọrọ. Let me tell you one thing I know and my experience so far. Igbo, we are blessed. I didn't only but very even one problem and that one problem Amam motum di kuya mo bodatla amam obodi he mareme obodo na afu to why for them to agree on a particular thing. And that whenever they see good thing coming to land, what about an obstacle? Wow, an impediment for it. Are there any part of the world? Are there any nation here can Igbo? Because Igbos we are blessed by talented. Or a car also Nibograga or Gagote. Or a car on Nibograga Mote. As long as other states and Imo state the concern, or a car anybody from Nova or this or any part of Igbo land just come to Abia and Imo. Akora Molaga or Mote. Anybody ship from Anambra into any business or Tirakarati can never succeed or survive. Igbo have all it takes for them to build their own home that even itself why by door they go. Igbo nwere ha eji ha ọbụla ị chọrọ ndị Igbo nwere ọbụla ndị gụrụ akwụkwọ ndị Igbo nwere adịghị dị ka ọ bụ abụ ndị Igbo na-enweghị but ọ bụghị mwute nye m la ọ dịka ihe la otu o jidere la Igbo today that la ya darawa ahụ for them to come together. One on their brain are they used by their enemies. Onye ala achọ voting nnabata n'obodo gị onye mbụhụma bịatara gị onye ala achọ tinye nwe echiche think how you will do in your own place obodo ya ama mma onye achọ tinye agbaghị ohu mgbe ọbụla ịgbacha nwa agba onye ahụ bụ a good person to you. That's why you see an Igbo man give him a business ya ada aga ọfụma ya ga village ya kpata his brother, neither his immediate brother or his relative or anybody from his own place. Yeah, job join here like that business. Only as a period of years, he settle and he expect the person to also do the same thing. Your uncle will train you in the school, train a child at school in my institution. He expect you to also train another person. That is how God bless Igbo people. But we give down that some of our people allow themselves to be used by the enemies. Onye alagi emeni hi na-eme. Onye alagi emete hu ndi mo bekulu. Onye ahụ that la enu that chance, enu that vacant that la unu ga-ekawe by 100%. Onye le-etoru ilegodi agbaye n'okwu yifia. You allow your brain yourself to be used against your brother. Now you don't have you ask yourself, be hemreno onye anjisi. Give hemreno. Only allow giving a good advice to your people. What the only thing he can tell you about how you will destroy your own land. Because really like them and you have a good knowledge. You he will allow the person want to use you as a rag. The person have just come to use you as a rag. And none of you have ever think. Listen now, Hasa no Chalwadepara. Or do you tell me trying to go for a bit of turn on the enemy? Ugwani Bundibo. Gent, Nakorun, Hosso Parewego. No, the Mobodadem is just a waste of time. Let me tell you the truth. Okay, look when the Igbo kwesịrị ịbịa lọtọ n'ọsọ ụmụnna alọba akụrụ ụlọ mara onye kpatara ya. Oge erula mgbe ndị Igbo kwesịrị ịbịa sị nna ọma obodo anyị na kwesịrị ịmara hụ anyị ga-eme. Adịghị onye ọdọ onye mba abịataghị ile isi gị na akpa ihe kwesịrị ime n'obodo ya ama mma ọ gbachi because the person dị ịchọ ụtọ gị dị mechi obodo ka and destroy your own place. Ya ọka ndị ka asụrụ abụ ọkụkọ ịtụgbu oke na ịta n'ikpuchite ke onye. That is what Igbos are passing through in the house of Nigeria. Now, grief tele, ọ bụ due ndị ka anyị ji hasụ onwe ahụ. Our people allow themselves to be used by ndị na-abụ uru abaghị. And they are using one word to convince you. Listen, any Igbo politicians, our Saji, the Ipoka calculator, the Ipoka remote, all of them know. Even when Buhari died, they all know. But due to that, they have already committed already. Yeah, Monica Paneka. Mazi Kanu came up with good ideas. Iji unite ya ndị Igbo la anyị gara la anyị furu ma ndị ụmụnne anyị ndị mba ndị asị na-abụ ndị Igbo la ndị Igbo problem ụlọ all of Mazi Kanu move into teaching, move into lecturing. Now they see that this young man is making an impact. La can they all dike? La can they all allow me to the madana? All melandi babata sign. Now see what happened to Mazi Nnamdi to them. I was just laughing this afternoon when I'm just listening to news, channel TV, The person want to use you as a rag. The person have just come to use you as a rag. And none of you have ever think. Isn't ala hasa no chalo de para. All the utam yen mi chwana mbo fote fuana beti tono daino lime. Ugwani bundibo. Gente na koru no hoso para wego. No lobodondo the mobodade is just a waste of time. Let me tell you the truth. Oge erukwana mgbe ndị Igbo kwesịrị ịbịa lọtụrụ ọsọ ụmụnna alọba akụrụla mara onye kpatara ya. Oge erula mgbe ndị Igbo kwesịrị ịbịa sị nna ọma obodo anyị na kwesịrị amara hụ anyị ga-eme. Adịghị onye ọdọ onye mba agataghị ile isi gị na akpa ihe kwesịrị ime n'obodo ya ama ma ọ gbachi because the person dị ịchọ ụtọ gị dị meji obodo ka and destroy your own place. Ya ọka ndị ka asụrụ abụ ọkụkọ ịtụgbu oke na-eta na-ekpuchite ka onye. That is what Igbos are passing through in the house of Nigeria. Now, our people allow themselves to be used by indelible rapper. And they are using one word to convince you. Listen, any Igbo politician, our Saji, the Ipoka calculator, the Ipoka remote, all of them know. Even when Buhari died, they all knows. But due to that, they have already committed already. Yeah, Monica Panekaka. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came up with good ideas. Iji unite ya ndị Igbo la anyị gara la anyị furu ma ndị ụmụnna anyị ndị mba ndị asị na-abụ ndị Igbo la ndị Igbo problem ụlọ all of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu move into teaching, move into lecturing. Now they see that this young man is making an impact. What can they all do? What can they all do? Now see what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to them. I was just laughing this afternoon when I'm just listening to news, Channel TV, when you report about the murder case in UK, murder George, which that man is also part of the problem we are passing and you will learn it today. Now, in for Limo, they allow themselves use. How can you be there? I had one mistake. I laid him and bofo. When the mad people that has been opportune, Marolabano, on the Marola blame in Tarat, Anya Putuku, Anya Bekata, Bremitina, listen, Nabuno. A guy, Baba JJ, a guy not in position of Moboma is very, very bad. And he not in position that now. You don't like share people's ideas is very, very bad. Problem in the Igbo and in the they allow themselves to be used. Do twin jano nga ya ba matakren nam de kano be maybe a business. Can be more business imitabe. That business him what have you gained from it? Now learn about him no one in Nigeria. Like their currency. These people know what they did. They know what they are doing. That man, my honey, don't worry, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. Now, look at it. The only son of Nnamdi Kanu, this way till a problem. No, what she said, don't know. They will know my own game. They will know my own game. Now, what is she? That's saying. They will tell us about us. I got been against this boy, how are you? I got mobilized boys. I got 50 million. What have you achieved? What has been your benefit? What shall it profit you of getting all these things and at the end you lose your soul? Where you are betraying your brothers. Our politicians have been selling which is very, very bad. How many Igbo people have been using Fulani people? How many of you Fulani only as maybe when you use left Fulani to penetrate them. What are we lazy? Fulani, they know themselves. Fulani, when you think that Fulani are having problem, because they have one mind. But in the one day, problem with Gaga baby. You see? Mada so ruling with the Ogwani Bundi Bogi, or to Tundibo, not all. Or to Tundibo Matatu. Ruling has a nota. Now, one of Lana focus on his business of this period of election. What have you been achieving in this year election? The help only metal. No relation on there to vote on to no love halarum. No, why they make Jilla Libo. This man, many would ask you. Get on the map. I wouldn't take in them one is for Afobawa. Ye ham. No, can I forget about I forgot about one game la Calana Boyabare. One of them are Calana de Abaromo. The grammar is a Baria Koya Calana. Mala good money, fellow Waka. We only prayed for God not allow this to happen. Until I this here. Did you know how many people late till only Bola? How do you go anybody that will stop you? Kill. You will tell me how many of them how many of Fulanis are killing their brothers? Because of election or because of Ilade Hub. How many of Fulani brothers? How many of you are allowing Fulani here? Go and betray this your brother. Fulani may agree. Ana Furuna College. No halasa we go no blood. Ya China no blood red. If you are gay bowling. When this I say, would the Lego, if would lemon London, would you tell me, hey, Chinekele, hey, Obogere, Ulemike, Inokata. Then to my boom, I don't know black an evil politician who a good plan for his people. The only thing, I don't know him about Kamasakabo, camouflage. Most of you don't know. The problem here, Kuaria. No, Bulana, Nigeria, mobile election, no bag also anybody that goes there with 8 years, was idea and Chayanocha, no can sagi job. Every 4 years, argument election, have you? Mambo, until you carry all and I did even not Gana here. Election say you do for people. Who's on India, June, they play. These people are playing game because they know themselves. Forget about the illegal here. When I hear they have what any part of the country or you or here Game meeting. We have been saying this become with that number. This election is just nothing. Kamgasu to poor Hadim Suju. Halile Hundas Nadim Suju. Kamgasu to poor. Now they can never have far on our village. Engineer Kuhao, Ndibo, when you know Yaka 1 year. Gente, I know I me, okay, Barau. I know I me, Emarala, may not fall, I know for for how many years Mazi Nnamdi have been chanting? Now, this is look at the case of Mazi Nnamdi has been detained illegally. Now, court has discharged and acquitted. I've been saying it with that number. Fulani, no, court has some more law. It's not getting a do. Fulani. La gara un po' plano la Nigeria e mo ho bala itlo ge no ngadu bo betemaka want to talk again. I don't want you to I don't. I bet the whole Igbo land. I don't know about the Fulani home. Can work with Juku. Because any level, the lady born on the way you tell her. Now, I don't know order. Who is going to talk? Governor sort of Indole. I thought that masala. Nobody is going to talk. And indeed, if that they are there representing you, or perhaps they are there for their own personal business. They are there for their own personal business. So, on the way we have, on the way go for maybe the way our people talk, or now, mass in the kind of money for how long? He give a Yona, who frame the idea figure. But in the way so out to me, so to swab, meet that by them, me, waiting on a muffler, Zula. Get it for and that will come without a water full breeze. Without a water full breeze, get it. Am I him one? My team will let to my way. I really belong. I don't know why our people no nine in the Bunchi Kanu Nishi. Up till now. Hemeunu. That one la only for the wound, only for the mark. What you with the mass of Patalon Nine in Yapoluchi. Let me pick your call. You have tried so much calling. I don't know. You do the reggae. I'm on air now. Unless a late power $1. Just check the number program on Friday, 20th of the Mazi, that's the one on the head. All you can do, even that, was students all decided to start. This will get for the general. Father said, with information, I'll be there for 1 night, many times I got many times I like this. This was the Biafra for it. I will not be able to start. This is okay for it, so okay, you are. Okay. Yeah, okay. I believe okay. No problem. Okay. No problem. God bless you. I believe okay, we hear your voice. No. Not easy. Let me tell my daughter, okay, was in dollar, read you now. I'm all one day pose of them. Do you never I could worry? I will equally do in a pata or a chineke lap or walk. Now I ain't the Gabiga here. When in Nanga. I don't want them. We know the regular. Oh, that's what the one the man. Don't you put the Mazi ALOZIE. Mazi IYKE. That's one of my Biafra. Don't you put the goddamn Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You put it the number you went. Then they had to get the little Mazi Kanu. After the project of the I Only WhatsApp only plus 4872 921 9099 plus 48729219099 or direct call or WhatsApp plus 2340 81 305 41935 WhatsApp or direct call plus 2340 81 3054 1935. There one. So, and our brother, let me come to your what you asked for. When the gentleman already now, even IPOP, Mazi Nnamdi at the start of Botenga, and the structure still remain and never shift. Ima mbofo de utem for the Kani de Kumbofo. Any information learn from Radio Biafra. Happier is not valid. Ima de utem like in the mebula. Fake information they kega viral carry the real one. Mazi did the ALOZIE we have only one press release by Emma Powerful. I don't know the lady press release for IP Labo Emma Powerful. And I didn't Biafra spokesperson. You know to add all the them by now that our people among somebody you have been following this struggle, you have been following Mazi Nnamdi right from day one. Among the up to they are confused. Somebody just on Saturday, Mazi Chinasa will come on air. That clarify people from the information that has been going on. Yes, and he give a proper explanation. If not